Living paycheck to paycheck. How to pay yourself first and escape the rat race. Living from paycheck to paycheck feels like an invisible prison. Money comes in, money goes out, and what's left is always that feeling of running on a treadmill that never stops. They work hard, pay bills, cover emergencies, and when they look again, the month is already over. There is no rest, no surplus, no security. It's as if their money controls every step they take. But what if I told you there is a simple, proven, and timeless way to turn this around, even if they don't earn much? A way to stop living putting out fires and finally start building the financial freedom they deserve. The secret is not in working more hours, nor in cutting out everything they enjoy. The real turning point is learning to pay themselves first. This concept may seem counterintuitive at first, but it is exactly what separates those who remain trapped in the rat race from those who build wealth and create a life of choices. Because, in the end, it's not about how much they earn, but about how they organize what they earn. And when they change the priority order of their money, they change the course of their life. Imagine what would happen if, instead of waiting for whatever is left, they ensured that the first slice of their salary went straight to them. Before the rent, before the bills, even before the grocery shopping. This simple change, called paying yourself first, is not just any financial tip. It's a game changer. It's what allows ordinary people, even those living from paycheck to paycheck, to create reserves, build investments, and achieve long-term freedom. It's not magic. It's discipline, mindset, and strategy. And here's the crucial point. While most people continue running in the rat race wheel, believing that a salary increase will solve everything, those who understand this principle start using every dollar as a tool for freedom. That's the key to escaping a life where money dictates the rules. It's about giving you back the power of choice. Today, you will learn not only why you should pay yourself first, but how to put it into practice in a simple and immediate way, even if you think it's impossible. Because the truth is that impossible is just a myth when you change the order of your financial priorities. The first step to escape the rat race is to understand that the system was designed for you to never leave it. From an early age, we are taught to work hard, pay bills, and if there's anything left, think about saving. But this logic is upside down. When you pay yourself last, there's almost nothing left. That's exactly how you remain trapped in the cycle of financial stress. The solution is to reverse the order. Before any bill, before any expense, the priority is you. Setting aside part of your income for your future right at the beginning is what makes the difference between surviving and thriving. And here's the detail that no one tells you. It doesn't matter if you earn little or much. The impact doesn't come from the initial amount, but from consistency. It's this habit, repeated month after month, that builds financial security. The discipline of paying yourself first is the foundation that supports all other wealth strategies. Those who understand this start stepping off the treadmill and walking towards real freedom. When they start paying themselves first, something powerful happens. Their mindset shifts. Money ceases to be just an obligation and becomes a building tool. The simple act of setting aside an amount for themselves creates an immediate psychological effect. Instead of feeling like the salary disappears without explanation, they begin to have a sense of control. And control breeds confidence. This confidence is the foundation for making better decisions and avoiding traps that drain their energy and their wallet. The rat race continues fueled by the fear of lacking. This fear makes them spend quickly, try to relieve the pressure with immediate purchases, and get lost in debts. But when they have a growing reserve, even if small, the fear starts to lose ground. Each deposit is a message to themselves. I am a priority. I take care of my future. This is the kind of internal change that does not depend on the size of their income, but on their choice to reverse the order of priorities. Now is the time to turn the idea into action. The concept of paying themselves first only works if they create an automatic system. Do not rely on their willpower because it fails. If the money comes in and waits for them to decide what to do, the bills and immediate desires will win. The key is to set up their account to automatically transfer a portion of their income to savings or investments as soon as the salary is deposited. Think of it as an invisible bill that they pay to themselves. It does not matter if the initial amount is 5%, 10%, or even less. What matters is consistency. If they earn little, start small, but start now. This habit is more powerful than waiting for a raise or an ideal situation that never comes. And every time this reserve grows, they prove to themselves that they are moving away from survival logic and entering the path to freedom. It is a silent yet transformative step. When they pay themselves first, they are not just saving money. They are creating a chain reaction throughout their financial life. Suddenly, they realize they no longer need to chase after every expense desperately. The feeling of suffocation decreases because now there is a reserve that acts as a safety net. This peace reflects in their choices. They spend more consciously, negotiate better, and begin to cut back on excess naturally, without feeling like they are living in deprivation. This domino effect goes beyond finances. The constant anxiety starts to make way for clarity. They gain more focus at work, more lightness in relationships, and more confidence to make decisions. The simple habit of setting aside money before spending not only transforms their pocket but also their mindset. And it is this mindset that sustains the journey to escape the rat race. Because, in the end, financial freedom is not just about money but about quality of life. Paying themselves first gains even more strength when they connect this habit to clear goals. Saving just for the sake of it can lose its meaning over time. But when they look at that reserve and know exactly what it is for, the motivation grows. It could be to build an emergency fund, pay off debts faster, invest for retirement, or simply achieve the peace of having 6 months' worth of expenses saved. The goal is the fuel that turns discipline into enthusiasm. Financial goals work as compasses. They provide direction and prevent you from getting lost in expenses that do not add value. By watching their reserve grow and get closer to the goal, they prove to themselves that they have control over the money, not the other way around. It is at this moment that the rat race starts to lose strength, because they no longer run aimlessly. Every step, every deposit, every choice is aligned with something bigger, something that ensures not only survival but also evolution. The big financial transformations do not come from a giant leap, but from small accumulated victories. When they realize they managed to save the first amount without touching it, the feeling is one of conquest. This silent pride turns into motivation to repeat the gesture in the following month. Each deposit becomes a proof that they are capable of breaking the rat race cycle. And the more victories they accumulate, the easier it becomes to maintain the pace. The interesting part is that this positive cycle starts to influence other areas of life. They start saying no to unnecessary expenses without feeling guilty, because they know they are saying yes to their future. Small financial victories also reinforce their identity. They stop being the person who is always in the red and become the person who builds wealth. This new self-perception is a powerful fuel to continue, even when challenges arise. True financial freedom does not come just from accumulating money, but from creating discipline that withstands time. The small victories pave the way, but it is consistency that keeps them strong when motivation fluctuates. There will be months when unexpected events arise, unforeseen bills, or that temptation to spend what they saved. It is precisely in these moments that discipline makes a difference. Instead of yielding to impulse, they remember the commitment they made to themselves. To be the priority. Discipline is like a muscle. The more they practice, the stronger it gets. By turning "pay yourself first" into a non-negotiable routine, they create a natural barrier against financial setbacks. This protection is not only practical but also emotional, because when the habit is deeply rooted, they do not need to decide every time. Done. Automatic. And that is what sets apart those who return to the rat race from those who build a definitive way out. After the habit of paying themselves first becomes automatic, they open the door to the next level. Investing. Saving money is essential, but investing is what multiplies their efforts. Money sitting idle loses value over time, while invested money works for them. And here's the magic. When they pay themselves first, that reserved amount can already be gradually directed towards investments that make their wealth grow. It's not about risky or complex investments. The point is to start simple. An emergency fund in a secure investment, then move on to options that yield more, such as fixed income securities, funds, or low-risk stocks. Each step is planned. Investing doesn't have to be scary, it needs to be strategic. When they use the discipline of paying themselves first to fuel investments, they create a real chance to get out of the rat race and build financial independence. It's money changing roles, from a burden on their back to an ally on their journey. Investing just for the sake of investing doesn't make sense. The true power arises when they connect their investments to the lifestyle they want to live. It's pointless to accumulate numbers in an account if they don't reflect daily freedom. Money needs to work so that they have choices. More time with family, less work stress, the security of not depending on debts, and the peace of knowing that the future is secured. This alignment begins when they ask themselves, what do I want my money to do for me? The answer shapes the strategy. If their focus is stability, they choose safer investments. If they want to accelerate achievements, they can diversify with options of higher returns. The key is for each decision to be coherent with their values and priorities. When their investments mirror the lifestyle they dream of, money ceases to be an end and becomes the means to a lighter, more abundant, and conscious life. It's no use building if at the same time you leave openings to destroy. Costly debts like credit cards and overdraft are traps that pull you back into the rat race, even when they have already started paying themselves first and investing. Therefore, protecting their progress means shielding themselves against financial choices that drain energy and resources. Each time you postpone the minimum payment, you are handing over your freedom to interest that keeps growing endlessly. The strategy here is clear. While you feed your savings and investments, you also need to tackle debts intelligently. Prioritize the most expensive ones, renegotiate when possible, and eliminate what compromises your income. This is not only about numbers but about peace of mind. Because it's no use moving forward on one side and carrying chains on the other. Protecting what they've built is as important as building it. Only then can you create a solid ground where wealth can flourish without being swallowed by debt holes. Escaping the rat race requires more than cutting expenses and paying yourself first. The next step is to increase your income streams. Relying on a single source of income keeps you vulnerable. If the job fails, everything collapses. But when you create multiple sources, the game changes. Can be a side job, freelancing, a digital business, investments that generate dividends, or even skills turned into services. Each new source adds stability and accelerates your progress. Having different income streams doesn't mean working non-stop, but being strategic. It's about putting your time, talent, and even your money to work in your favor. This diversification reduces risks and increases your ability to invest faster. The more streams you have, the less trapped you are by the fear of losing the main salary. This is how you accelerate freedom, building not only security but abundance. Money stops being scarce and becomes a safety net that supports your life with more lightness and choices. No financial strategy will hold if their mentality remains stuck in old patterns. Freedom doesn't depend solely on numbers, but on how they perceive and relate to money. While many still see their salary as something to be immediately spent, those who change their mentality start seeing each income as an opportunity to build. This internal shift is what sustains the discipline of paying themselves first, investing, and diversifying income. The right mindset comes from clarity. They understand that money is a tool, not an enemy. It doesn't dictate who they are, it only amplifies their choices. When they cultivate this perspective, impulsive consumption loses its strength, comparing their life to others becomes unimportant, and the focus shifts to creating a life that makes sense to them. This mental foundation ensures that their financial freedom is not only temporary but lasting, solid, and in line with their values. When they decide to pay themselves first and transform their relationship with money, they are not just changing their present but building a legacy. Each conscious choice creates roots that extend beyond them. Their family gains security, their children learn by example, and even future generations reap the benefits of a different mindset. The rat race may seem inevitable to many, but they prove that there is another path. The long-term impact is not just having a full account, but having peace of mind to choose how to live. It's being able to say yes to what matters and no to what enslaves. It's living with dignity, purpose, and freedom. This transformation process starts small but grows into a movement that spreads to all areas of life. Ultimately, the greatest wealth they achieve is the autonomy to live according to their own terms, without the weight of invisible chains. The life of those who live from paycheck to paycheck seems like an endless race, but today they saw that there is a way out. The turning point is not about winning the lottery or waiting for a miraculous raise, but about changing the order of priorities. Paying themselves first is more than a habit. It's an act of freedom. It's declaring that their future is worth as much as, or more than, the bills that come every month. This simple move creates discipline, opens up space to invest, strengthens their mindset, and transforms the rat race into a road of conscious choices. Now they have the tools to turn the game around. The next step depends only on them deciding whether they will continue to spin in circles or if they will build a life where money works for them. Every deposit, every small victory, every decision aligned with their goals is a brick laid on the path to their freedom. What seemed distant starts with the simple gesture of putting themselves first. Money made easy helps them save with lightness, peace of mind, and time for life.